the drill, right? It's that daily ritual for so many of us. After a workout, maybe for a quick breakfast, you reach for that shaker bottle. It's the go-to for muscle recovery, for that healthy boost, and, of course, we're all trying to make it as powerful as possible, right? A scoop of this, a little of that, all to maximize our health.
All right, but let's get real for a second. What if I told you that your super well-intentioned, supercharged shake might actually be working against you? That some of those healthy additions could actually be doing more harm than good?
Yeah, we think we're playing mad scientist and creating this ultimate health cocktail. But the reality is, some of these combinations can actually block your body from absorbing key nutrients, or worse, cause some really uncomfortable digestive issues. Or they could just be a very expensive way to waste your money.
So let's peel back the curtain and uncover these hidden conflicts and figure out how to build a shake that actually works for you, not against you.
All right, first up, let's tackle the dosage dilemma. This is the classic case where more is definitely not better. And we're going to use a super common example here, creatine.
Now, don't get me wrong, creatine is awesome. It is one of the most studied supplements on the planet for improving muscle performance, and mixing it with protein is generally a safe, even smart move. So the problem here isn't that you're combining it, it's how much you're combining. So the science is pretty clear on this. There's kind of this magic number, a daily dose of 3 to 5 grams. That's the sweet spot. That's the effective and safe amount that your body can actually put to good use.
Okay, so what if you take more? Well, I love how pharmacist and nutritionist Laura Zakaria explains it. Think of your muscles like a sponge. They can only soak up so much creatine. Once they're full, your body just gets rid of the extra. You're not getting any more benefit. You're just, well, wasting your money.
And it's not just about wasting money. Overdoing it can lead to some not-so-fun side effects, like dehydration or an upset stomach. And in some cases, it might even put a little extra strain on your kidneys. So, the bottom line? Stick to that 3 to 5 gram dose.
Okay, next up, energy overload. We're talking about stacking stimulants, the stuff you find in pre-workouts and even some herbal supplements.
Look, the goal is simple, right? We want that big energy jolt for a killer workout. But the reality, mixing a super caffeinated pre-workout with a heavy protein shake can get uncomfortable fast. Think jitters, nausea, or cramping. Basically, what happens is the combo can slow down how quickly stuff leaves your stomach. Again, it's not that the ingredients themselves are bad, it's all about the timing. Like this quote says, your body just digests protein way better when it isn't jacked up in that fight or flight mode that a big hit of caffeine can trigger. And here's the thing, you kind of have to be a detective about this, because stimulants can hide in all sorts of places. You might have caffeine in your pre-workout, a little more in your protein powder, and maybe even some in an herbal supplement like ginseng. When you accidentally stack all this up, it can seriously mess with your sleep. And let's be real, good sleep is just as important for muscle growth as protein is. All right, this next conflict is super interesting. I want you to imagine your digestive system is like a bus with limited seating. Not everyone gets a seat at the same time. Some nutrients are literally fighting each other for a spot. So here's how that competition breaks down. For instance, all that calcium you get from a whey or casein protein shake, it can actually block your body from absorbing key minerals like iron and zinc. And on the amino acid side of things, if you're piling on extra branch-chain amino acids, you might be crowding out tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid that actually plays a role in your mood. And that actually brings us to a really common habit, tossing extra scoops of BCAAs into a shake that's already packed with protein. But honestly, if you've got a decent protein powder, adding more BCAAs is pretty much pointless. Just like Dr. Zakaria says here, if you're already getting 20 to 30 grams of protein, you're getting a complete profile of all the amino acids you need, including BCAAs. Adding more just doesn't give you a real advantage. So the takeaway is super simple. Check your label before you go adding extra stuff. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the what not to do. Let's flip the script and talk about how to do this right. How do we build a smarter, safer shake that avoids all these conflicts? And the good news is there are a ton of things that play really well with protein. You're looking at things like omega-3s, vitamin D, probiotics, and even carb powders or green powders. According to experts like registered dietitian Alex Larson, these additions won't get in the way of absorption. So here's your simple 4-step checklist for building a better shake. 1. Always read the label. Know what you're putting in your body. 2. Space out those competing minerals. 3. Look for trusted third-party seals to ensure safety and quality. And 4. The golden rule. If you're ever unsure, just talk to a doctor or a registered dietitian. Simple as that. So what about that absorption battle we talked about? How do you win it? Well, here's the strategy. Take minerals like iron or zinc separately. Taking them on an empty stomach with a little bit of vitamin C is ideal for absorption. Then, wait about 2 hours before you have your protein shake. This basically gives those minerals a head start to get absorbed properly. Okay, so why should you care about these little seals? Well, here's the deal. The supplement industry isn't regulated like medications are. So seals from groups like NSF Certified for Sport or LGC's Informed Choice mean that an independent lab has actually checked the product to make sure what's on the label is what's in the bottle. It's just a huge layer of safety and gives you that peace of mind. When it all comes down to it, it's about this one thing. The point of all this isn't to scare you away from supplements. It's about empowering you to be a smart, informed consumer. It's about understanding how all these ingredients actually work together so you can get the benefits you're paying for without any of the drawbacks. So next time you grab that shaker, just take a second. Ask yourself, what's really in here? And is it actually working together for me? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.